Yo, YouTube, how's it going? This is Turner. Today we have a huge, absolutely mind-blowing episode of Dragon Discourse, in which we're going to be breaking down some of the Dragon Ball superhero plot, as well as some of the spoilers and leaks that have been coming out. I am going to do my best, everything in my power, to not show the leaks in this video. I will describe them in detail, and I will be going over what they contain and what they mean, but I will not be showing them visually. Just because the movie's not officially out, so I don't want to get the video taken down. I've seen some of the leaks getting taken down already, as they should, because it's like, it's out in Japan, but, it's during that period where they're trying to keep things under wraps. So, the first thing I wanted to talk about today, before we even talked about anything else, was the sales for Dragon Ball Superhero. This is coming from DBS Chronicles. A lot of what we'll be talking about today is from DBS Chronicles. Good source here. He says it sold about 390,000 tickets over the weekend. That's only Saturday and Sunday. So I think in Japan it didn't release on the Friday, it released the Saturday and was there for Sunday as well, making a total of about 700 million yen. For comparison, Broly made 1.05 billion in the first weekend, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. So pretty much what that means is if Superhero released Friday, it would probably make as much as Broly, if not more. Broly had an extra day, so it was able to make an extra day's worth of yen, but it did pretty well, about as well as you would expect Dragon Ball to do. And yeah, so that's really cool to see there. And then I also wanted to touch on the Toriyama interview before we got into the actual breakdown of the plot. So this is from Herms98, Todd Blankenship, translating an interview that Toriyama did. I just wanted to go over this and break it down and get into the nitty-gritty, I guess you could say. So the question is, what are your thoughts on seeing the visuals in their current state of completion? This was before the movie was officially released, still in production. Toriyama says, I'm writing this after a private test screening, featuring still partially incomplete visuals and only the voice actors' voices, but no sound effects, music, etc. Even so, it was plenty impressive, and I got excited thinking of what it would look like once complete. By the way, the subtitle Superhero, this is pretty funny. I totally forgot that the film's main title is Dragon Ball Super, so there ended up being two supers. I guess everyone thought I had done this on purpose because nobody pointed it out to me. So it's my fault that the super is so repetitive. So this was something that a lot of people were talking about, this quote specifically in this part of the interview where he says that he forgot it was called Dragon Ball Super. Because, to Toriyama, he created Dragon Ball. He still thinks of it as Dragon Ball, so he thought Dragon Ball Superhero. But nobody corrected him. So we got a whole movie called Dragon Ball Superhero because nobody stopped to correct him. That's crazy. But it's not really a big deal. For this film, the evolution of imagery really stands out. This improvement on the visual front is something you yourself were hoping for. So what were your thoughts on it? He says, up until now, while everyone has worked really hard on the animation, there have always been areas of unevenness in the finished product due to the division of labor and the different talents and quirks of the animators. That's true. That's true. We had a lot to say about Dragon Ball Super, how it went through different animators and different teams and all that crap. This time, though, thanks to this revolutionary new method, that unevenness is gone. There's no cutting corners, even with the background characters. He's really impressed. I don't know anything about film, so I don't really understand how they did it, but it looks like it took a tremendous amount of time and effort. Okay. What did you think of first when talk turned to a follow-up to the film Dragon Ball Super Broly? He says, the previous film, Broly, focused on battles of next-level strength. If we had just kept going on like that and made the next movie another battle film, it seemed like we would lose Dragon Ball's cheerful spirit. So this time around, I figured I should return things to a somewhat lighter route, with character-based daily life, which is then threatened by a crisis which results in a big battle. We're going to see more of this in the spoilers discussion. Those battle scenes were wonderful, as is traditional in this series, and I'm always very moved by them. Thanks to that, I can just write, and now these two characters have a big battle in the original script and rest easy knowing that this will get turned into an incredible battle. Naturally, this time around, the battles are more amazing than ever. You won't be able to take your eyes off them. What was your aim in featuring Gohan, Piccolo, and the Red Ribbon? Okay, so this first quote got a lot of people triggered. He says, Gohan is actually stronger than anyone, or so it's said, but lately he hasn't really gotten a chance to shine. In order to motivate Gohan, it takes his revered teacher Piccolo rather than his father Goku. So the way I break this down is Gohan has the potential to be stronger than anyone, but he doesn't train to. But, I mean, take it for however you want to read into it. I figured I'd try giving birth to some new superheroes by putting these two in the spotlight through their intense battles with the Gamma androids. As for the Red Ribbon Army, it didn't seem so scary back when I'd written the original series, but this time I brought it back as an enemy organization that triggers the birth of powerful new foes. So yeah, really interesting how he brought the Red Ribbon Army back. Well, and I like what they did with the Red Ribbon Army in this movie. Question: in this movie, we see Piccolo's daily life and some unexpected parts of his personality. Is there any more backstory beyond what's featured in the film? Well, Piccolo is a rather complex character. Originally, he was the Demon King Piccolo, who split off from the god who created Earth's Dragon Balls. But then he was defeated by Goku, and the child he left behind entered the Tenkaichi Budokai under the name of Junior, in order to hide his real identity. Then, later, during the battle against Frieza, he powered up by merging with a Namekian named Nail, and even later on, recombined with Kami, which brings us to the present. And then Toriyama says it's such a complicated past, he has trouble remembering it. You know, he forgot Dragon Ball Super, so that's fine. Most Namekians are sage types, and fighting types like Piccolo are rare. They are still a very mysterious race, so they can be a bit of a headache even for me, the original creator. And Gohan and his family offered to let Piccolo live with them, but he chose to live in the nearby mountains instead since he likes quiet places. Living next to the water is Namekian's natural habitat. For some reason, they have teeth yet only drink water. Piccolo's smartphone was a present forced on him by... I like the smartphone, that was funny. His stuffed animal collection got started when Gohan's daughter Pan gave him one. He pretended to be happy so that he wouldn't hurt Pan's feelings. So Gohan and Videl mistakenly... I love Piccolo's arc throughout Dragon Ball. Like, in this movie, he's being so sweet toward Pan. He's like such a gentle uncle. So Gohan Videl mistakenly believes he really does like them. And then Toriyama says Piccolo's his favorite character. He's always been so quiet, so this might be the first time he's been this talkative and active. So how do Gohan and his family view Piccolo? Gohan has always had a strong bond with Piccolo ever since training with him as a young child, and Videl and Pan likewise think of Piccolo as a family member they can rely on more than any other. Question: you designed a lot of characters for this movie. When it comes to design, did you have any new experiments or things you were picky about? This is probably more of a matter of taste, but somewhere along the line, the warrior characters' physiques and facial features got too buff. So this time I wanted to return things to a somewhat softer feel to my designs. He also designed the enemy base, and they suggested something far more amazing. And he's really glad for all the things that went beyond his imagination. Alright. Question: Piccolo has never removed his shoes in any of the series. This is huge. We've never seen Namekian feet. They are so caught up on this that Xenoverse, whenever you don't have anything equipped on the feet, Namekians still have boots to cover their feet, shoes. So the question was, what do Piccolo's feet look like? Toriyama says, what? He's never taken off his shoes? That comes as a surprise to me too. I think they're pretty much the same as Earthling feet, but his toenails are black like his fingernails. Okay. So if you're wondering about Namekian feet, there you go. The characters you designed were animated using a different method than before. First their models were created, and then motion was added. What was it like watching that process? Toriyama says, the major portions of the main characters were rechecked and edited countless times. I didn't see the process after that, but it was very emotional to see the lifelike movements of the characters. So yeah, through the 3D animation and CGI, they were able to get a bit more technical with it, which is interesting. So he's asking about the director. Toriyama says, I've never met him in person, but I've gotten a good feel for his fastidiousness and sense of style through my editor. When I saw the moving images for the first time, I was particularly surprised by the composition, presentation, movement, and the rain scene. The question: tell us the process behind the birth of Gamma 1 and 2. What are your thoughts in designing them? Also, how do you feel about the way Hiroshi Kamiya and Mamoru Miyano have voiced them? Toriyama says, the Gamma androids were created by the brilliant Dr. Hito, whose dream was for cliché heroes to appear. So, Maybe the Great Saiyaman has retired by this point. Who knows? These slightly old-fashioned designs are the embodiment of what I imagined heroes to be like when I was young. The two voice actors breathed life into them with pitch-perfect voices, so seeing them in action was cooler than I expected. The final question. For people who have already seen the movie once, what should they pay attention to the second time? Toriyama says, the anime series from 2013 onward has been a casual continuation of my original manga. Keyword, casual continuation. He doesn't say grand side story like GT, so this is Toriyama officially confirming this is the continuation of Dragon Ball Super. He says casual specifically, which is kind of important too, but it's not like, oh, it's non-canon or anything. This is Toriyama saying it's a continuation, but he doesn't take it as seriously as he did Dragon Ball Z. For the first time Dragon Ball viewer, it might be a little hard to figure out the various character relationships, so they might need to learn a bit about the series beforehand. But for those who already know the series, the content should be simple enough to grasp after a single viewing. So for the second viewing, please just enjoy the action and details. So there you go. That was the Toriyama interview. Pretty interesting stuff he had to say about Gohan and Piccolo. And now we're going to get into the broad strokes that DBS Chronicles uploaded for the spoilers, and then we're going to get into a more plot bullet point by bullet point breakdown, I guess. All right, so full credit for DBS Chronicles for this one. This is huge stuff, and yeah, we're just going to go ahead and jump into it. So as you can see, DBS Chronicles writes in this first post, Hachimaru kills Magenta. So Hachimaru is the little drones that Dr. Hito has, and they are pretty cool drones. They can just kill regular people. He's been spying on Magenta ever since Hito returned from prison. On Hito's orders, Hachimaru kills Magenta, but it's too late. And what's it too late for? Well, I'll just tell you. Again, this is the broad strokes, but what ends up happening is Magenta is pretty much realizing that the Z Warriors are pretty much going to win. So he releases Cell Max before he's, fully complete and operational and all that stuff. So yeah, Hachimaru kills Magenta, but Magenta releases Cell Max too late. Orange Piccolo. Remember the extra thing Shinron gave him? So Piccolo went to Shinron to ask for power because he lost against Gamma 2. And what ended up happening was, I think it's kind of like unleashing your potential, like Guru did way back in Dragon Ball Z with Gohan and Krillin. So Piccolo went to Dende to ask him for some help, but Dende was like, you know what, I'm a newer Namekian and I really don't know how to, but you should go to Shinron. So Piccolo goes to Shinron, and Shinron gives him the ultimate Piccolo form, like the yellow one that we've already seen. And then he also threw in a little something extra. And then Piccolo, in a near-death situation, he unleashes this new power. And it doesn't look exactly like this in the film. So in the film, he's bigger. Like, he's more buff and bigger and broad. He's still got these orangish-yellow tint right here. The arms are a deeper, darker orange. And his antennae are pointed up. And he's got black outlines around his eyes, and he's got like red pupils that are more intense. So that was really cool. I really like it, actually. I think it's cool. He's got also like a Chad Piccolo face. People have been calling him Chad Piccolo. His official name is Orange Piccolo, by the way. So Gamma 2 does die. He sacrifices himself in saving Gohan from Cell. There's really not a lot to add to this except maybe Cell Max more specifically. But yeah, Cell Max is a huge, devastating force in this movie, and Gamma 2 dies to sacrifice himself to save Gohan. And Vomi is the human name of Android 21. So this is huge. This is absolutely a huge plot detail. So this is, I think, if I'm correct, this is the first Dragon Ball video game character to be brought into canon. Now, this isn't Android 21 specifically. I think this is more probably the human being that Android 21 was based off of. Again, you know how Dragon Ball canon is? They could just be using the design and it's a whole nother character. Or they could be saying, okay, this is Vomi, who later becomes Android 21 and we see her in Fighter Z. I haven't personally ever played Fighter Z, which I would love to actually play it and make videos on it or whatever. But yeah, Vomi. Android 21 is Vomi. And people have rightly pointed out, Dr. Gero and Android 21 were together. Yes, they were. Yes, they were. So Dr. Gero gets props because Android 21, as you can see, is quite the android. So she is Jiro's wife, Gibo's mother, and Hito's grandmother. So I think the movie also, whenever they reveal Android 21's real name, Vomi, it's on like a family tree thing. So we have Jiro and Vomi, their first child, who is the person that Android 16 was based off of. So he's got the red mohawk and everything. And their second child is Gibo, who is Hito's father. Father. Wait. Yeah, father. All right. I got mixed up there because it said Gibo's mother, and I thought, wait, Gibo's a woman? But no, I was talking about Android 21. Brain fart. All right. Continuing on, Final Gohan. When nothing works against the Max monster, Cell Max, in a fit of rage, Gohan unlocks a new power. Okay. So, I'm going to throw in some theory right here, also with the plot details. So what happens in this scene is Cell Max is an overwhelming, overpowering force. He's just dominating the battle. And he's throwing our Z fighters around left and right. It's pretty sad. It's a pretty sad sight. And Gohan watches Piccolo pretty much die. Well, Piccolo doesn't die. He appears to die. He's pretty much brutally wounded. Like, mortally wounded. I was not mortally wounded, but he's pretty out. And Cell Max does that to Piccolo, and it is very much a reference to whenever he went Super Saiyan 2 the first time, when he was in base Super Saiyan form. Except this time he's in Ultimate form and goes into this new form. I'm calling it Ultimate Gohan 2. People are also calling it Final Gohan, which is fine. And this is a good Photoshop. A good edit to what it looks like. So he's got black pupils. He's got red color eyes. His hair isn't as shiny as this. It's like grayish, whitish. So it's not like the Ultra Instinct silver. It's like a grayish, whitish. And it's also very long and spiky. Probably longer and spikier than Super Saiyan 2. I really like it. But a lot of people, I've seen some people pointing out, it does look like the color hair that the Kais have. You know, Supreme Kai, all those Kais have that shade of hair color. And I thought to myself, well, they pretty much did the Super Saiyan 2 transformation with the red light behind him, and then boom, he unleashes this, you know, new white, gray-haired form. And whenever he did Super Saiyan 2, he was in Super Saiyan form, and then he transcended that to Super Saiyan 2. So I'm thinking this is some sort of Kai transformation that he unlocked. So he was in the Ultimate Gohan, which was unlocked. Its ability given to him by the Kais. He was in the Ultimate Gohan form, and then he gets this new form. So I'm assuming this is pretty much Ultimate Gohan 2. And then we also know that Carmine survives. Pan knocks out Carmine, but the movie doesn't say anything about his future. So here's what I thought about this scene. I loved it. So what Carmine does is he's kind of a jerk to Pan. She's just a little kid. So Piccolo, earlier in the movie, whenever Piccolo is trying to train Gohan, well, not trying to train Gohan, but he wants Gohan to be more of a fighter like he used to be. And Gohan's like in his studies and everything, and Videl has to call Piccolo to pick Pan up from school because Gohan's too busy studying to be there for his family, you know, pick Pan up. So Piccolo learns that the Red Ribbon Army are planning to kidnap Pan to lure Gohan out. So Piccolo kidnaps Pan disguised as a Red Ribbon Army soldier because she was easily taking care of the Red Ribbon Army soldiers. So Piccolo kidnaps her, and whenever they get to the base, Carmine's just being kind of a jerk to her. She wants an Oreo, but Carmine does not give her an Oreo. He takes the Oreos, and he's just so rude. So Pan knocks him out. He doesn't die, but Pan knocks him out and gets her vengeance for the Oreos, so I thought that was cute. So she does learn to fly. So she's running from the purple explosion. That's the Cell Max attack. And she's running, and earlier in the movie, she doesn't know how to fly. It's like Piccolo's trying to train her, but she's having trouble learning. So Piccolo pretty much is, training Pan like he trained Gohan. So that was really cool to see her flying in that desperate hour. And Dr. Hito now works at the Capsule Corp. So what happens is Hito was being manipulated throughout the movie. And it was a very sad thing because he's obsessed with this fantasy of being a hero, of being a superhero. And he makes Gamma 1 and 2, and they also believe they're doing the right thing. The Red Ribbon Army is manipulating all of them. So after Gamma 2 dies, Gamma 1 and Dr. Hito work for Bulma. And funnily enough, her wish on the Dragon Balls was to make her eyelashes a little longer and to make her butt a little bigger. This just coming off the heels of Dragon Ball Super Broly, where her last wish was to be 5 years younger or 2 years younger or something like that, just to be a little younger. And so she actually hires Dr. Hito to pretty much help make her look younger. And then the final thing that DBS Chronicles posted in regards to these little plot details is Vegeta finally defeats Goku. But it's not like it's like a sparring match, so they're only physically fighting, no transformations or anything. And I'm pretty sure they didn't have Vegeta and Goku transform in this movie, and they didn't have them be a large focus because these two have storylines that are still being played out in the manga. And that manga still has to be adapted to the anime. So they can't have Ultra Ego Vegeta out here after he was first revealed in the manga. They still have to do that anime adaptation before they put Ultra Ego Vegeta in the movies and stuff. So that was interesting that Vegeta finally defeats Goku. But it also introduces a contradiction because in the end of Z, I think this is in the manga and it might have been in the anime, but I'm not positive. Vegeta says, "One day I will defeat you, Kakarot." But again, that's just like one minor speech bubble, and Dragon Ball Z has tons of inconsistencies, so it's not too big of a deal there. Alright, and here we have the Dragon Ball Super Superhero full plot spoiler discussion. Pretty much the entire plot leaked on Reddit by Cypher. So this is a huge thing. I don't have the energy to read it all, so what I'm going to do is, you can see the link there, you can Google it, whatever. I think I might leave it in the description as well. We'll go ahead and skim through this and just pick out certain things. So it does open on a 2D animated recap of the Goku wiping out the Red Ribbon Army. We get more information on who the villains are. So the main villain, what was his name? Magenta. He is the son of, I think his name was Colonel Red or General Red or whatever. I think that actually says it here. No, okay, well. It is, I think it's General Red, I think was his name. So Magenta is his son, and they're both short, so it goes to figure. And then of course, Dr. Hito is the grandson of Dr. Gero. Hachimaru is spying on the Red Ribbon Army. They recruit Hito, tricking him. He wants to be hero. He tells him the Z Warriors are the bad guys. What have we got here? 6 months later, Pan is training with Piccolo. She's learning how to fly. She needs to go to kindergarten. But hang on, it says something about Gohan here. Oh. Pan asks if it's true her father could really be stronger than her grandpa, as she's never seen Gohan fight. Piccolo says that he could be, but he isn't so sure about him with how he is now. So that introduces an interesting question about the potential of Gohan, really. So I already talked about how he goes off to pick up Pan, and then the Red Ribbon Army, blah, blah, blah. So Gamma 2 believes he's killed Piccolo with a blast and leaves. Piccolo just manages to dodge Gamma 2's attack and goes and follows him from a distance and steals a uniform as a disguise. And let's see. Carmine runs down a list of threatening stronger opponents who remain. So let's see. Magenta orders Dr. Hito to finish his work on Cell Max, but Hito insists the two Gammas can finish the job on their own. And Carmine isn't sure, running down the list of threatening opponents who remain. Goku Vegeta, Majin Buu, and Mr. Satan, Hercule Satan, whose true strength remains unknown, as they say, which obviously he's even got the Red Ribbon Army believing he's got true strength hidden. So they suspect Gohan killed the original Cell rather than Mr. Satan, which is interesting. And then Goku and Broly are training on Beerus's planet. And Broly's kind of like raging out too much during his fighting. So Goku like wants to like kind of ease that down. Like, come on, bro, calm down, be cool. And Beerus kind of wakes up from a nap and he's kind of angry that Broly's there and all that crap. But then Limo comes with some food, and then there's been jokes about Beerus flirting with Chile and all that stuff. It wasn't that bad in the movie, I don't think. Like, he just said kawaii, like, you know, she's cute and all that. I don't think it is, you know, just calm down, everybody. Calm down. Beerus, Limo, Chile, and Whis settle in with some tubs of Earth ice cream to watch the fight unfold. Broly watches the fight intensely, and during the fight, an ice cream tub flies on top of Whis' staff, preventing him from noticing Bulma's calls. So when Piccolo went to the Red Ribbon Army base and saw everything happening, his first instinct was to get Vegeta and Goku to come, but obviously Bulma can't get a hold of them, so it was up to Piccolo and Gohan to save the day. And Korin gives Piccolo some sensu beans. Piccolo gets a call back from Bulma saying there's no luck. Piccolo thinks about who he can recruit. Majin Buu is hibernating. 17 and 18 carry the risk of the Red Ribbon Army knowing some sort of weakness, and Gohan won't be ready in time. Piccolo has to do something himself. And this is where he wishes on the Dragon Balls and unleashes his potential, and the dragon throws in something a little extra. Let's see. And this is where Carmine and Magenta plan to kidnap Pan. And then Pan pretends to be kidnapped to lure Gohan in, and Piccolo and 15 show up at Gohan's house to deliver the message to his participants. So that's what I was talking about. Whenever Pan was pretending to be... Obviously, the Red Ribbon Army think they have Pan, but she's strong enough to really get away from them easily. But I thought it's funny because, like I said, after it's over, she like immediately composes herself and wants an Oreo. And Carmine doesn't let her have an Oreo. So despite Pan having seen through his disguise right away, Piccolo is disappointed to see that Gohan doesn't notice. Gohan is unperturbed by 15 holding him at gunpoint, effortlessly flicking the weapon out of his hand and asking him to leave, until 15 pulls out the footage of Pan. Gohan flies out of the window and powers up into Super Saiyan, creating a massive crater under a wing of his home that causes the whole house to topple. In a panic, 15 apologizes and politely asks Gohan to come along, ensuring him Pan is still unharmed. So a lot of this, pretty much after this point, is a whole lot of fighting, and it's really epic and cool. So this is stuff I think you should probably... Like, I can run through all the little details and everything of the actual fight, but it's best executed, like best seen, by watching the movie. So yeah, that was kind of the bullet point. That's pretty much all the plot, necessarily, of the movie. And then a lot of it's fighting as well. Alright, and time for the lightning news segment of the show. As I normally do, I look at some of the figures and other stuff that's on the official Dragon Ball website. So this was actually something I missed June 10th. I didn't know about this until today. So you know how they do the lo-fi hip-hop thing now? Check this out. Jump. This is official. Jump did one. You better not copyright this. Don't copyright this. But yeah, man. There it is. They did a lo-fi hip-hop beats to study to thing. And it's just Gohan and Piccolo chilling here, which is pretty cool because it pretty much coincides with the release of Superhero, where it focuses on Gohan and Piccolo. And this was the big thing. These are some new statues, figures, whatever you want to call them, coming to Crane Games in Japan. So pretty much you'll be able to order these offline somewhere as you do. So That's what normally happens. These things are in Japan, like Crane Games, and people outside of Japan just order them online. And here's a better look at them here. So Gamma 1 and Gamma 2. So I think I like Gamma 1 more, just because his main color scheme is red, and I do like red. But their costumes, they are so well freaking designed. Like, I just need to say that they look so good, and these look great. These are fantastic. Definitely get these the first chance you get, because it is more than worth it. Anyways, guys, we're gonna end the video there. Did you like these spoilers / leaks of the Dragon Ball Super superhero film? Did you find it interesting? One thing I found interesting was all the flashbacks in the superhero movie. We didn't discuss it in the plot breakdown, but it does go through flashbacks of the Cell saga, the androids, the OG Red Ribbon Army. We even see Jiren in a flashback. And I think most of the flashbacks, if not all of them, are done in a 2D style. So it was interesting how the main story was 3D, but the flashbacks are 2D. Also, side note, earlier in the year, they did say they had some other stuff planned for the anime. So, could we see the super anime return? Only time will tell. Thanks for watching, guys. I really appreciate you watching this. It was really hard to upload this video and refrain from showing the leaks and the spoilers, but I think that's the best thing to do for now. I will be doing my own review of the film whenever I watch it in August, the English dub. So make sure you're here August whenever I review the English dub of the film. Thanks for watching. Have a good day. And don't forget to subscribe.